Ankit, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for having me, Jesus.
Always a pleasure, man.
Thank you, thank you. Same here.
I gotta ask you the number one question that comes up to my mind right away. I always see you since the first day I met you. You're always rocking some nice kicks.
I love to get some nice shoes from online. I buy online, StockX.
All right, cool.
Yeah, sometimes I go to the store also, but mostly I buy online. Yeah.
So I know you're from India.
Yes.
What part?
From Punjab.
Okay.
Yeah. North. It's in the north, close to New Delhi.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know you came to America. You have an interesting story.
Yeah, I do.
You didn't come with almost nothing in your pocket.
That's true.
Tell me more about that.
So I came in 2008, and I just came on a tourist visa, and then I decided to stay because my wife was here before me. So we got married, and then I stayed, and then I had no papers, so I had no other choice working at a gas station. So I was working graveyard shifts. I was working 6 in the evening to 6:30 in the morning, 6 days a week.
Wow.
So
and she was working?
Yeah, she was working 3 days a week at a hospital. She just finished her RN and master's in nursing. So she was a full-time nurse at the hospital. But she had a lot of debt, student loan. And I had a lot of debt from India when I came over here. And I did master's from India. So I wasn't expecting that I have to do, like work at a gas station. I was hoping to get a better job. But it was better than nothing,
I think you said that you came with maybe $100 to your pocket.
Yeah, when I came, I had probably $150, $200 the most. Yeah.
The most. And somehow, fast forward, I don't know if you saw a real estate office.
So the real estate journey started when we had a son. My son born in 2010. So when he born, then I started cut my hours at the work. So what I was doing was I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and my wife was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So 3 days I was just home with him, and we didn't know anybody. So we me and my son, we start going to open houses.
Now, mind you, when you say you and your son, he's just a newborn.
Yeah, he's a newborn, so he was in a stroller or like a seat. So I was just taking him to open houses just to kill some time, during the day. And that's how it caught my attention. I saw some nice listings. Then I started asking agents the questions how, this seller, why they're selling, or is he an investor who is flipping it? So it caught my attention that, it's a good business to be in.
Wow.
So then I decided to take an exam and became a realtor.
Did you live close to the city of Norwalk back then, or what city were you in?
So
did you live in?
Yeah, so my first home I bought was on Maidstone Avenue in city of Norwalk. That's how I met Dan. So I did all my preparation for the exam online, and then I went for a state exam. So when I passed my exam, that's when I see a nearest office, because we only had one car. So I was thinking if I have to walk, at least it will be a walking distance. So it was in 2013. That's when I got my license. Because in 2012, I got green card.
Okay.
So then as soon as I got my green card, I got into real estate within a year.
Just to... Maybe people don't know. You met Dan. That's Dan Navarez, the manager over at
Dan Navarro, the manager at Norwalk. Yes.
Okay.
Centurion.
So you get your license, and you said, this is it. You're going to make a killing the first year. What happened?
So
your first year.
The first year, initially, obviously, I didn't know anybody, and my wife actually moved from Southern Indiana. She did master's from University of Southern Indiana. And I moved from India, so we didn't know anybody. So initially... my goal was to close a deal, right? So I started giving away my business cards to people. Let's say I'm taking my son to the park. So I was meeting a family over there. I was giving them a business card. That's how I came across a family who wanted to buy their first home. And I closed one transaction on after 6 months in real estate. That was my first transaction. I
6
represented
months.
a buyer buy a property in La Mirada.
I think you told me that after your first year, I don't know who told you, but they told you to go back to the gas station because you weren't making enough money.
Oh yeah. Because there was no income coming home, so we were just discussing our finances were very limited, and my wife said it was better because I was getting $1,800 to $2,000 a month from the gas station. So we were thinking of going back because we thought this might not work.
That's like $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
You have to ask this question because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of agents that are coming into this business or people that feel like giving up.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow you remain, I don't know if it's faithful or you had a vision. What kept you?
I had a very good vision. I saw myself working out this thing because I didn't want to go back to the place where I was. It wasn't easy working nights and cleaning pumps and taking trash out and everything. So I had to figure this out. So it took me some time, but within a year I figured it out. So after that I was straight Ruby agent for 3 years. So I was minimum was 125,000 gross income commission I was making.
So the second year you made Ruby.
Yeah, then consistently I have been Ruby, then Masters, then now I'm Centurion. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Centurion, obviously you have to make a good
Yes.
dollar amount for that.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you made those 6 figures?
Feels good, feels blessed, and it's a lot of hard work, but a lot of patience too. And also you need to figure out how to achieve it. Like I have seen a lot of agents who are new in the business. They try to replicate what the successful agents are doing today. Let's say I am doing 6 figures, or I am closing 30-40 deals a year, right? So if I have appointments from 9 to 12 in the morning, and then 12 to 2 I am following up on my escrows. So they try to see, okay, this guy is doing this, so we want to do the same thing. But in reality, they should be doing what that successful agent was doing when he was new in the business.
And you were doing a lot.
Yeah. So my recommendation to all the new agents out there is this: even though they are 2-3 years in business, don't try to do what the successful agents are doing today. Do the things what they have done, so they become successful.
I know that you, and it's a sensitive story.
Yeah.
You said you bought a property. You were flipping the property.
Yeah.
And then you had to sell the property and you didn't have nowhere to go to. And then you locked in another property somehow. Can you share that story?
So the very first property we bought as a minimum down payment, which was FHA loan. The lender approved the loan at $350,000, but he said you need to have at least $15,000 for down payment, and in our bank account it was only $5,000. So I asked him, what if I sell my car and get the down payment? And he said, yeah, you can do that. So I actually bought my first property by selling the car. I still remember I had black Nissan Versa, and I bought brand new, and within 3 years we paid it off. And that particular month it was almost paid off, and like within a couple of months after that, once I paid off, I had to sell it so I can buy that property. So I bought in the property on Maidstone for $300,000, and then we had no reserves, no money, so I used my credit cards. We lived in it, we fixed it little by little, and in the meantime contractor took the money and ran away too, which we were again under more debt. So
remember, the contractor stole from you.
Yeah.
So now property's not even fixed up. You really have debt. What happens then?
So we were, whatever we were making that time, little by little we were putting into the house. So while we were living in it, we were fixing like one portion, then second, then third. God. And then we finished the kitchen. You were telling me
there was a time where you were painting a room and then you had to move your son and you had to move to the neighbor's house.
Yeah. So there was a time when we had no bathroom in the house.
Yeah, you told me that.
So we had to go to the, friend's house to take shower and stuff. So
And you did that for about a month.
yeah, for at least 3 weeks. Yeah,
So for 3 weeks, you were taking a shower at your friend's house.
yeah.
Because you were still remodeling the property. you lived
Yeah,
in.
still remodeling.
And then that property, you ended up selling it.
Yeah, so that property we ended up selling it, and then we didn't know where to go next. So luckily, I had a buyer that time, which I was showing them properties. So while I was showing them properties, I ended up finding another property for us to live. That was in Lakewood. So we did the same thing in Lakewood. We bought that property with 5% down, even though we had 20% down, but I wanted money to invest on it. So we lived in it and we fixed it little by little. And we sold after 2 years for, we bought for 400, we sold for 600,000. Then we moved to another one in Norwalk. We did the same thing. So I moved 5 times already.
Oh, within
Within a time frame of about 3 years, 3 to 4 years. Yeah.
And now you have this saying, OPM.
Yeah, other people's money. Yeah.
I think I was at a sales meeting,
Yeah.
and then afterwards, I think they asked you, "How did you get that property?" And then I heard you say OPM.
Yeah. So the way OPM works is, so when I started, I being smart at investing. I saw it's a long-term investment, or you want to be a passive investor or an active investor. So I became active investor. Active investor means I find my own deals, I fix them, and I sell them. And the OPM means I use other people's money to buy that deal. You don't have to have your own money. If you have good income, good credit, you can lend the money from the banks. Banks will be more than happy to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I have been doing. I have been more actively investing myself rather than a lot of investors. They are passive investors. They put the money in some stock savings or somewhere where they will get a fixed return. But in my expertise, I basically actively invest myself in real estate. So that's what I do.
And when you find a property, you don't find them you find them in very good areas.
Yeah, I try to stay in nicer areas like Lakewood, Bellflower, Cerritos, Norwalk, cities where it's more people, they qualify for the loans. Like Anaheim, you get more qualified buyers in those areas.
I agree.
And
with
it's easy commute for the people from LA or Orange County or San Diego. So cities which are booming, that's where I try to focus more on.
Who gave you that idea?
It just nobody. I never attended no seminar. I never attended no nobody's class, no training. I never read a book. I never saw any show online or offline. So I just learn while I go. So when I was living in one, selling, and then after I think 4 or 5 years, me and my wife, we were at a point where we wanted to have our own home, and then we were doing one property on a side. And then I think I mentioned to you last time, so the way I was working is, let's say I have a nice property in Buena Park with a nice school district. So I was milking that property a lot. I was doing 5 days open houses. I was marketing it a lot. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't selling within a week. Even though I had offers within a week, I was saying offers are due next month, or I was delaying the sale so I can get maximum exposure, and that way I can make more out of it. Because again, I didn't know anybody, so in order for me to market myself, I need to have a product. So that was my product, a finished product which I can sit and I can promote myself.
When I met you the first time, I didn't know you. I just knew that we introduced me in an office meeting.
Yeah.
I went back again and again, and I would always, you tend to sit in the front, right?
Yeah.
And I think you came up to me after the meeting and you asked me to go back. And then I found out your production. I said, I think I should be learning from you. I think you've been told this. You're a very humble individual.
Thank you.
Very humble. And I think I told you once, be careful of people maybe wanting to take advantage of that. And then you told me a story which is sad. but you turn it into a blessing. Someone took. Was it someone tried to charge you more? Someone took, or you bought somebody a truck, something like that. You gave me a story. One of your workers.
Oh yeah. It happened, like I was trying to help somebody, but eventually he actually backfired me.
But there's one person that you help.
Yeah.
You bought him a truck.
Yeah. So now, luckily, I have a good team. I have no, like all my guys, they are really good. So the contractor I work with, he and his whole family, they lives in my house in Santa Ana. It's paid off, and I bought them a truck, F-250 with the trailer and all the tools. So
But-
it's no charge to them.
But you bought it because you had a. I think you told me. He said, "Yeah, I'll do it. I just have to go rent a truck or something like that." And then that's what triggered you buying the truck, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because every day his truck was breaking down, and I remember that story. So what happened is, this guy who I work with, he
Yeah.
was working with another contractor. So he finished the house, and then he came to me to get paid. And I said, I already pay the contractor. He's supposed to pay you. So he said, I never get paid. So I said, okay, moving forward, I will help you, as long as, you work with me. So that's how I got to know him. So then I help him a lot. And, now.
Is that the guy that you bought the truck for?
Yeah.
So his truck will break down a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What made you? I'm gonna tell you right now, I have problems with my car. Maybe you could buy me a car. But
Yeah,
but
and I'll make you work every day. Fix my house,
There
paint
you
my
go.
house.
The crazy thing is, not the crazy thing. I think the first time I talked to you, I was like, "Hey, man, have you avoid this?" And then you shared. That's how you shared Dad's story.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but you see it as a blessing.
Yeah.
How they also other people take advantage, and now I notice you're in a
Yeah.
position to where you're blessing other people.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to, share the idea or share the wealth where I can help the other persons as much as I can too, Because the thing is, when I came here, I didn't know anybody. I started from scratch, and also, I want to share my experience with other investors, other realtors out there, where they can take their business to next level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is all your family still in India?
My parents are in India, my younger brother in India, and here my older brother is in Seattle.
Oh, that's
He
cool.
and his family is in Seattle. Yeah.
And you like to travel,
I love to travel. Yeah.
and not in the back of the plane. You like to travel
Yeah.
first class.
So starting, I think 2020, we were able to, save enough money that I told my wife, then now we will go first class. Anywhere we go first class. I know tickets are expensive, but
That's why you work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you work
Yeah.
hard on that.
Yeah.
I think when was it? Was it 2 months ago or 3 months ago?
Yeah.
You went to
India. Yeah, for my nephew's wedding. Yeah.
No, you went also to Sydney.
Yes. In January,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in Australia.
You were in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember because you walked in literally in this office, and then you tell me, "Hey, I'm going to Australia," and I told you, "Dude, that's been my dream since I was in 3rd grade." I just remember seeing a picture of I think it's a famous bridge or an opera.
Oh yeah. The Harbour Bridge.
Yes.
Yes, it's in Sydney. Yeah.
And I don't know, as a little kid, I'm like, one day I'm gonna go there. And then you told me, you want to go? And I said, yes. And then you're like, okay, go online. I'll buy your ticket right now. And I'm looking at you like, you're playing. And you looked at me like,
No, I could have. If you were ready, I was ready.
you were like you're ready to fight. Like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm looking at you like, you're playing. And you looked at me, seriously, go online. I'll pay for your trip. And yeah, man, my fiance's gonna kill me if I leave to Sydney without her. But I mean, who does that? You do.
Thank you, man.
That's
Thank
when it's like that humble spirit in you, and keep doing that. I think there's very, very few people like that in this world that just like to bless other people without expecting anything in return.
Yeah, honestly, I don't expect anything back, and I always try to help as much as I can. Even in India too, I send like money. Sometimes I have to send money to my family members or my friends or family. So I always try to, I know I'm not getting anything back, but at least all the love and blessings, that's more important than anything else in the world.
Maybe on the next podcast with you, we'll do it in Sydney.
Okay.
There you go. We're like, hey, we're going to be in
can fly
Sydney and we're going to be talking about that. The crew's saying to take them, so I don't know about all that. Ankit, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, all right? Rapid fire, straight up, real quick. Okay. Who's your favorite musician artist?
It's a Punjabi singer, Diljit Dosanjh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put a picture of him up right here
Yeah.
on this YouTube, because I have no idea on our podcast.
Yeah, he's famous. You'll find him. Yeah.
Is that the guy that did you just sent me the
the song. Yeah.
He did that
Palpita.
song with
Camilo.
With Camilo, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
heard that song.
Okay.
It's interesting because that song's really not here. It's in India, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
true. I
Yeah.
did hear it, by the way. Thank you for that. All right. A place in the world you want to visit?
Europe. I haven't been to Europe. I've been to Australia, Dubai, other places, but this year my goal is to go to Europe. Yeah.
All right, cool. What part?
Mostly Switzerland. Mostly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's main city where I wanna be.
All right. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie in Hindi? In
I don't know.
Indian?
Whatever
Yeah.
your
It's Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. It's a movie like a family movie,
Okay.
and it's about family, how they get together and then they separated and then they get together towards the end.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Tacos or burritos?
I would say burrito.
Burrito.
Veggie, no meat.
All right, that's true. That is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
I like the salmon layer, the one they have at Taco Bell. It says no meat. It's a salmon layer burrito.
Okay, you lost me at Taco Bell. We got to take you to a real taco joint.
Okay.
We got to take you to a real taco joint.
Okay.
All right. Man, I don't know if you know the difference, though. I'm going to have to ask and go on the limb. Mariachi or...
No, I would stay with something else.
No mariachi?
I heard mariachi, but yeah, it's kind of slow. I mean, it's good for when you're relaxing, but
Oh, man, you haven't partied with us then.
yeah, maybe I'm missing because I have heard mariachi only when they bring it here, when it's
I
and the
get. I'm going to have to invite you to our
Yeah.
house parties.
okay.
You sent me a video, by the way, when you were in India. You were having a blast.
Yeah.
And once I saw you doing all this, I'm like, yeah, Ankit's on one. He's having a good time. That's
I
how we
dance a
party in
lot on the
Mexico.
DJ. Yeah,
That's how
same.
we party in Mexico.
Yeah, I was telling this morning to my TC clerk. I said India and Mexico, it's almost the same culture.
Yeah.
We drink, we party, we like to enjoy the life.
You do.
So you only get this once, so you better enjoy it. It's not just to work. It's to enjoy it too.
If there's one thing you had to tell yourself when you first started the business that you would do different, what would it be?
I probably would have started investing in real estate even sooner. It took me about 4 or 5 years to figure this out, and then I started investing full time. And if I would have started a little bit earlier, maybe that's all. But no regret. Whatever I have done, I think, I've been doing, by God's grace, I'm doing good. Yeah.
One last question. If you had to meet one person, whether they're in the past or someone present, who would that be, and what would you ask them?
It's hard.
Everyone gets stuck on that question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might wanna meet my grandfather again if I can meet. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, he passed away, but if I get, you said in the past.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, anybody.
So maybe I ask him, why you leave early?
Oh my God. You took it in stride. Ankit, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man.
Same here.
We got to do it again. Hey, maybe we'll do it in Sydney or in
Sydney
India.
or Dubai. Maybe.
I would like to do it in Dubai.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the guys here has been to Dubai. He knows people out there.
Oh yeah, I know.
So-
Bernardo is in Dubai, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe we will take him.
Yeah, we should.
I don't know how we're going to take the whole camera equipment, but I don't know. Maybe we could do it in 2024.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. All right. We got to close some more deals.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Ankit. Pleasure.
Thank
to
you
actually
again
speaking to
for having me again. Thank you, Jesus. And
Got it.